Ladies and gentlemen, no love lost. There is no certainty as to who will win. There is immense pride and firepower on the line, and quite simply, after all their boxing triumphs over the years, this is the fight at night which both Amir and Kell Brook will be remembered for. February the 19th, in the electric Manchester Arena, live on Sky Sports box office. Stand by for a roller coaster as we find out, all of us fight fans, once and for all, if it's Khan or if it's Brook. Let's get straight to the fighters. Kell, good afternoon. When the fight was finally signed, after you've chased it for so long, what were the emotions?
Adam, you know how long this has been going on. 17 years this is being talked about. Even the negotiations, it's been unbelievably hard work. It's on, it's been off, it's been on, it's been off, but I finally got it across the line, and I'm ecstatic that the fans are going to see this fight, what they've wanted to see for years. And I'm just sick of people coming up to me saying, when are you going to fight, when's it happening? Now we've got a date, February 19th in Manchester, and that's when Amir is the dead for the final time.
Tell us why there is such bitterness, such hatred really, through the years.
It started from us original promoters back in the day. We've always had it that we're going to be fighting each other, but he's always seemed to veer off. He's never given me no respect. He's never acknowledged me. He's never, he's saying, fight this guy and I'll fight you. Win a world title, I'll fight you. He's always run away. I think he's come to, this part of his career, when there's nowhere else for him to run. So now he wants to fight. This is the biggest fight out there for him, the biggest money fight, and there's nowhere else for him to go. So this is what we get. This is when he wants it now. So it's been so frustrating for me. I've been wanting this for many years.
Amir, have you been running? Have you been ducking him? Have you got no respect for Kell Brook?
I mean, the respect there, I respect him as a fighter. I think he's been there. He's fought a big name down there. But to be honest with you, I'm never been one to be scared of any fighter. I mean, look, in my last 10 fights, if you look at them, in the last 10 years, I fought two of the best pound-for-pound fighters. Maybe got beat, but still, I'm fighting the best out there. Never ran from Kell. Never needed to. Obviously, what we're achieving in the sport speaks for itself. And but look, we're here now. There's no point crying about the past. I mean, at that time, in the past, I didn't think he deserved the fight. But now it's come to a stage where I'm waiting to give him a good shot right in the face. I want to put him in his place. I mean, that's what it's all about. End of the day, all that talking is being given, all that big talk he's been saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Come Feb 19. It's going to be time to see what he's going to do and how he's going to back them words up.
Why don't you think he's deserved this fight? I mean, you shared a ring many years ago when you were both in young England. You've obviously known his quality. Why not give him a fight till now?
I mean, look, it's like I'm coming levels down taking this fight. I've fought the best around the world. I've conquered America, and for me to give the British fans this fight, I am coming levels down. Because people want to see this fight. People want to see me punch him in the face, and that's what they're going. That's what they're going to see. He's done his bit in boxing. Well, it's my time now to put him in his place and hopefully move on to bigger and better things.
Former world champion, you've done so much for the sport, Kell, but levels and levels below.
Well, he's in cuckoo land. I think he needs to go back to believing he's a celebrity. And he went on.
I mean, being a celebrity,
being not cool now. I can't wait. This is my first fight. This fight. Forget all that. Forget man. Forget the fight. I'm gonna knock you spark out. I'm gonna knock you spark out. You're getting it.
It's easy to talk a big game. It's easy to talk a big game, yeah. And when people say you're very bitter,
what happens to you?
You're very bitter.
You're gonna look over it. I told you, Amir. I'm gonna look over you. Knock spark out. I told you. Levels below you.
You finished. I mean, you always have that bitterness in you that, you live in a celebrity life, because what's got me to this celebrity life is my performances, my the way I am as a fighter, as a
Start
boxer,
from the other day,
I'm
from the
achieving a
amateurs,
sport.
you know,
That's what got me to
no.
this position. You know what I mean? So if I was a bad boxer, if I wasn't good, I wouldn't be in this position.
Right, said you
Because
about
of
that.
what I've done in the sport, you know what I mean? So it seems to me you're just very bitter on that side.
Not
And
big
that's
so.
what you are
You've got
very
no
bitter.
respect. You
Look,
never acknowledge me saying, oh, is
Why
Kell
not?
Brook? I've heard you say, oh, is that many years ago. You know
Listen,
exactly who I
we
am.
know-
And you're going to
we
know,
know-
you're going to know people retire you.
We know,
It's fine.
we know what you've done. Listen, you're half retired now anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
I'll
are you?
make sure
What are
you're
you?
fully
Yeah.
finished. So don't start giving the bigger ones now.
What?
But look, end
I
of the
can't
day,
wait to
you will
spar
see
around.
on Feb 19. You ain't gonna do shit. I'm telling you, you're not gonna do shit. Trust me.
Yeah.
Give it the big talk.
You reckon?
You give it the big talk, but like I said, we'll see what happens on the night. But like, you better get in that gym and start training. You look well overweight as you are now. You need to lose some pounds there. You know what I mean?
We're fighting in 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
I'll be ready. Don't you worry.
Listen, now, 10. Listen, 10, so get the date right first. Because I can pull something out of the bag and say, oh, you know what, I can't make weight, whatnot. But look, 147 was the weight wanted. You still there, you still complain. You still complain.
Don't title on the line.
Regardless of title, we have both 147 fighters.
If you're that good, why does it need to be a weight? Why does it need to be a weight? There's no title on the line. Why do you need to make welterweight? Why do we need to come down to these weights? Why?
Why? Because
There's no title on the line.
I'm
You're trying to corner it. You're trying to corner it.
You've
so
said
advantage.
numerous times, Amir, I will come down to any weight to fight you. You said that and I posted it on my Twitter, but you didn't. You were complaining about making 147. But me, obviously giving the British people the fight that they want. If you want to go at 149, no problem.
I bet all back to your demands. You're coming out second in the show. You.
But listen,
Just to get you in the ring.
You got the fight. You got the fight, didn't you? You
Huh?
got the fight, didn't you? You got the fight. Listen, like I'm coming levels down to fight you. Remember, I'm coming levels down to fight you.
You reckon?
100% I am.
You reckon?
Yes, I am.
What, from Billy Din? What did he
Yeah.
what did he levels down?
You know, you got Billy Dib fight. Just what you guys listen, just for the Billy Dib fight, I'm telling you, look, you would not say no to that. When you get offered 10 million quid for a fight with Billy Dib, come on, 10 million quid for a confidence. Listen, I'm a prize fighter. I'm a prize fighter. I'm a prize fighter. I'm a prize fighter. You're gonna knock it by a jump. You're gonna knock it by a jump by 12,000. You pussy, you don't start giving me by a jump.
You look for a way out. Quit in that fight, you.
Man, you got knocked out by a jump, so stop giving me the big one.
I like you, man. I love that press.
We'll see what you do on February 19th.
We will.
Listen, there's no point giving the big ones now. You know, everyone can talk. We'll see what you bring to the table. We'll see what you bring on the table on February 19th.
Kell, how much does this mean to you throughout your whole career, this one fight?
This is ice not cake. This is the grudge match. This is the fight where I want. I've been in with best pound for pound fighters. So this is ice not cake. This is what I need. This fight. You know, I'm sick of everyone asking me about this fight. We've got this fight now.
You sure you're not doing it for the pay?
Huh?
You sure you're not doing it for the
Sure,
pay? Me, I got balls, man. I'm alright. I don't need to work.
Are you sure?
I'm alright. I'm God gifted.
Are you
Hope you're
sure?
not coming in for the payday because you're gonna get
This
hurt.
is an easy fight for me. Easy, you're easy.
Okay, we'll see.
We're gonna see.
After the fight, I'll ask you the same question. Look,
I'm not sure the same question. I'm not sure the same
Was it easy
question.
fight?
I'm not sure the same.
100%.
You're not clean out. You ain't know I am after. I've been not concussed, not tired. We'll see. We'll see.
So Amir, why do you take the fight? Money's fine.
I took the fight, you know what, because in Britain it's the biggest fight ever. Look, take away the AJ and Fury fight, I think that's the biggest fight in Britain. But apart from that, it has to be the rivalry fight between myself and Kell. It's been talked about everywhere, people talk about it, people want to see that fight, and I decided that, look, we should make that fight happen. End of the day, we should put our egos to a side and say, let's put the gloves on and take it that way. But I respect him, he's a fighter. You know, at the end of the day, anyone to jump, whoever goes into that square circle, you have to give him credit. You're putting your life on the line. Kell signed, we signed, and now it's time.
So there is some respect.
Alright, first time out there. First time I've had any respect from him. But believe you me, after this fight, you know, if you can't remember me there, it will give me respect when it comes round.
Is it about bragging rights as
Of
well?
course it's about bragging rights, you know, I'm still the best welterweight in Britain. And I'm going to show the world, I'm going to show everyone who's going to watch this fight, everyone's going to watch this fight, because of the grudge match, because of the history in running away, never wanted the fight. You know,
Man, I was never running away, Kell.
why did that fight not
I was
happen?
campaigning in America. I was fighting the bigger
Why did it
names.
happen till now?
I was fighting the bigger names. I was fighting the bigger fights. My dream was always to fight in America, to become a...
You don't want to lose to another Brit, that's what it is. You'll fight these Mexicans
I mean,
and all
when you
the
get
other
bigger
fighters.
fights, you get bigger fights in America.
No, but this is the fight the fans want. We want, this is
Yeah,
what
but the
we're on this table for the fans.
fans-
So I want to give the fight to the fans. Why it took till now for the fans to have it?
Listen.
I want to give back to the fans for many years.
Regardless if it was then or now, they're getting it out there. That's the main thing. We're doing it for the fans now. You know what I mean? So they're happy we're going to give them a massive fight. Come Feb 19, we're both going to perform at our best. And we're going to be ready for it. I mean, it's going to be fire.
Just make sure you turn up. Don't, because
Me?
this is a big thing for your team.
Which fight have I never turned up? Which fight have I never turned
No,
up?
but you've been this
shut
fight.
up.
Listen, why don't you shut up? You make sure you turn up for that.
Listen, you know, it's better if you stay quiet because the shit you come out with, yeah, doesn't make sense. So you better stay quiet because
Amir, Kell says he'll knock you out. You going to knock him out?
this fight ain't gonna go the 12 rounds. Alright? And obviously Kell's gonna say I got days, I got chocolate brownies, he ain't got shit. And we ain't got nothing. You see what happens on the night. Listen, I'm not gonna give a prediction, but like I said, only prediction I'm gonna say is that it's not gonna go 12.
How important is it that it's in Manchester, that it's in Britain, that it's the biggest fight of next year?
So there was huge deals on the table. Dubai was interested in doing this fight, Saudi Arabia, but we wanted this fight to be in the UK, and obviously to have Sky on board, obviously is amazing. And I think it's very important to have it in the UK, you know, for the British fans, give them the chance to see it live instead of it being a different hours in the day. But yeah, I mean, to have them, give them a chance to come and enjoy the fight and see the fight will be massive, you know. So being in Manchester, the Amir Arena, where I've had some great experiences, it's going to be right there, and not far from either. Because obviously Kell's from Sheffield, which is not far, and I'm from Bolton, so it's literally in between.
Kell, the Battle of the North, Lancashire-Yorkshire rivalry as well. It's got everything, hasn't it?
I know that fight box, Matthew White, like War of the Worlds, and this one obviously blinds it, and it's to see the King of the North with him.
Have you been dreaming of this night? I mean,
we have. You were talking with Tam about each other at this fight. You know, it's a fight that I'm so happy that the fans are going to get. I can't wait to start training camp, and like I said, this is my first fight. Forget me winning world titles. This fight to me means everything. I can't wait. You know.
And you're training out with Terence Crawford in America, and you're ready for it.
Yeah, definitely. My training camp's well started. We've been training the last couple of months. I go to America tomorrow to start my camp properly. Got a great team there. Beaumont couldn't make it. Obviously, he had someone in the family passed away, so he couldn't make it. But yeah, camp's going to be good. It's going to be hard, and yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. You know, it's going to be tough, but it's what I like.
You're excited about this
I
one?
mean, I'm really excited. You know, I definitely have to be excited. You know, I got Kell on both sides screaming like a bitch, but I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm going to be ready, man. This for me is a massive fight. I'm not gonna say it's like a world title fight because obviously I fought bigger names and better names, but it's a big fight.
Same here.
It's a big fight where I'm gonna just and you know the thing is he's giving the big talk on this. I'm like you'll see on Feb 19th how I play and school this guy. Just like the early days when I used to school him. Why did I got picked for the Olympic team? Because I was schooling Kell Brook with one hand. I used to be going to the training camp and the coaches tell me, Amir, just use one hand against him now.
He's so good. That guy is so good.
The jab with the left hook, and they go, just call the jab. And I used to school him with the jab.
I didn't dream of it.
Till I got 1, 2, left hook, right hand, uppercut. You had it. Trust me, you are gonna get it.
He's been into our, you know what happened, that's sparring.
What? I got picked. So
If
if you
you
were politics,
they don't like the English style with the
how is politics and amateur boxing? Are you saying 8 year amateur boxing association is corrupt? Are you trying to say that? Politics. Because it can't be. There's always a better. No, it's easy. When you look at a sparring session, you think, wait a minute, that poor kid, which you use to play the blue collar, getting battered, and if you can't put him inside a championship or send him abroad to get beat. I mean, that's the reason I got picked, because I was schooling you all the time.
You're at school, no, mate.
I don't know.
Great, isn't it? A little bit of tension up there. The man who put it together, boxing CEO Ben Shalom.
think we've just seen why this fight never happened. The past 5 months have been exhausting with both teams to try and get this over the line.
I mean, one of the main reasons it didn't happen because he was so jealous of him about my career. I mean, it was jealousy more than anything. He hates what I've got.
It's been difficult, and so to have it to finally get over the line, this was something we have a massive commitment to the British sport when we got in with Sky, and we made Eubank Williams, and we're bringing Josh Taylor back to the UK. But this was just it's a dream come true. We've got two icons of the sport, but most importantly, there's still the two best welterweights in this country by a long way. You know, I think people forget that by a long way, and so. You know, this is a massive fight for us to be involved in, and to be honest, I just want to say thank you to the fighters because they had offers from everywhere, and I believe you, me, I'm sure Terry will get them out later, from everywhere, and they could have taken more money, they could have done it in different countries, but both of them independently, not agreeing with each other, wanted it in the UK, and to have it at the Manchester Arena, my hometown as well, is a huge thing for the British sport. It's a huge thing for the fans, and I think I'm so excited. This got to be the biggest fight outside, as Amir said, AJ Fury. So yeah, fair play to both fighters for finally getting this on for us.
Let's bring Dan in, representing boxer, but a fight fan to the core as well. Is this about legacy, this fight? Is it about who and what will be remembered come February the 20th?
I think so. Regardless of who both of them have fought, they've always been compared to one another. Always seems to come back to them two. And you can see why it's a genuine dislike for each other. They don't get on. You can see why it hasn't been made over the years, but now we have it. And it has all the familiar symptoms of a classic, in my opinion. It has two huge names, two former world champions, two fighters who are willing to go up and face the most feared fighters in the sport. And most importantly, I think it's always been a fight that's had fans split on who the winner would be. We've never had the answer, and now we're going to get the answer.
Adam, there's a lot of fake rivalry in this sport, but the reason this fight never happened was it meant too much. I think world titles, I think everyone's, you know, Kell's gone and fought 2 weights above against Golovkin, Amir's gone and fought Canelo, they've won world titles, they've done everything. But this fight just meant too much to both fighters. So to have it now, this is more than world titles, this is legacy. This is something that Amir will be remembered for, and this is something that Kell will be remembered for. And that's why this is such a massive, massive fight. And yeah, I can't wait.
It's fantastic to have both dads up here on the top table, who I'm sure have lived and breathed through this over the last 15, 20 years. Let's go to Terry first. Terry, I've seen some of the posters in your house, and it's always been that the Amir Khan name has been out there for you to sort of hunt down with your son, with Kell. So when you finally got it together, when all these months and months of negotiations were over, what was the household like then?
I want to say, I know everybody's obviously emphatic, you know, that it's got made, you know, from a very young age. I think it was when Kell, you know, around about the 18 mark, I remember big articles in Boxing News which used to stand on the wall at the shop I used to run at the time. I used to keep a big scrapboard on there, and in them days it were better than Amir Khan. You know, the comparisons were drawn then, because right back from the early amateur days, you know, Amir used to win the ABAs, you know, the weight below Kell would win it at the one above, and they were very close on weight all the way through that, and the comparisons were also always drawn from as early as being, you know, 17-year-old, that these two were the best in England. And obviously, you know, we believe that the paths would cross at some time. We didn't visualise that it would take this long. You know, personally, I do want to be responsible for a lot that's happened, you know, in Kell's career, and how things have gone through this fight not being made, and everybody's on about it. So to eventually have this fight made, that we can, you know, give it to the fans, that everybody's always wanted this. You know, it's here, and we embrace it, and we're just glad that we can you know, eventually make history, you know, because what happened in that ring will be history. It would be sad if we would have left this sport without this fight happening.
Yeah, we need this fight. We've lost so many over the years. Lewis and Bowe never fought. Hatton and Witter never fought. We never had Calzaghe and Froch. So many have sort of gone by the wayside. But we finally get this one together. And it does still feel the right time for this. You hear the boys, you hear your son here.
Well, from Kell's point of view, you know, I've seen people referring to this fight as a bus flush, you know, which is a complete load of crap. You know, if you look at Kell, what is he? He's 35-year-old. I mean, last week we had Crawford fighting Porter. You know, two of the best welterweights, and Kell's still in that mix today. Is literally 1 year older than Crawford, who beat Porter and knocked him out, you know, last week. So I still put Kell in that mix as in there with the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. You know, we went out and tried to prove that we were the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, when really and truly we didn't even sort out who was the best pound-for-pound fighter in UK. And that's what I'm so glad that it's here today, and we've got the chance of actually getting this to prove who's the best in England.
Did you say that you have some responsibility that Amir has maybe even held Kell back at times, you think, because of that? Is that a personal thing that you've got going into this?
Yes, but basically in a nutshell, you know, because we always got, you know, the rough end of the stick going down the line, you know, coming through the ranks, and we had to go certain ways, go other ways, you know. There were lots of ifs and maybes along the way, you know, and that's where personally I know that Amir is responsible for a lot that happened in Kell's career.
Ifs, buts and maybes, Shah. We've been talking about this for a very, very, very long time. What's the feeling in the Khan household? What's the feeling in Bolton about this?
As you know, Adam, we have talked a lot about it with Eddie as well. You know, we always wanted this fight. Amir always wanted the fight. You know, but unfortunately, there's always been little hurdles here and there, and unfortunately, they never got ironed out. And that's the reason the fight never happened. The fighters always want to fight. Of course they want to fight, but as long as the terms are right. And unfortunately, every time we were trying to do a deal with Kell's team, and it just didn't happen because there were all certain hurdles there. But now we've got it over the line, that's great, you know. And I agree with Terry, these are the two best guys in UK, and I think they should get it on, and we'll find out who the best guy is. And I reckon probably do know who the best guy is out there. You know, and on the night, on the 19th of February, I think Amir's the guy who's going to come out there.
There's been a lot of talk on this side that your son's been ducking Kell over the years. Do you feel that he's just gone his own way and carved his own path, or do you think that, you know, there's a little truth in that Kell has been sort of left aside? Well,
not really. I wouldn't say he's been ducking him at all. Yes, I mean, look at opponents Amir's fought. You know, I mean, you can see it there on his resume, who's fought. He's fought the best guys out there. You know, okay, Kell goes on about Billy Dips. To be honest with you, that was a guy last minute was brought in for him. You know, because the other guy fell out, and then that's why they had to bring somebody in. So you can't say, oh, he's happy, the show had to go on. You know, but Amir has never ducked anybody, and he never will. You know, Amir is there to win. He don't want to be left as a second best. And Kell, on the night, I mean, Kell's going to come with the best Kell out there. And Amir will be the best out there. And you know something, to the British public, everybody will know who is the best guy out there. I mean, like Amir said before, if Kell was so good, why didn't he get to the international camps and etc. You know what I mean? But that's all make do now. Forget all about that. Let's get the fight on and hopefully find out who the best guy is.
And in Manchester, not far away, everyone on the streets talking about it. Is it Khan? Is it Brook? And once and for all, we decide and we find out.
Great place to fight. Manchester Arena is a great place, great arena. You know, nearly 20,000 people will be in there. I know it'll sell out. Everybody wants to see the fight. Certain people say, oh yeah, it's too old, these guys are too old. Both guys are the same age. 30-odd-year-old is not an old guy, 35-year-old, they're not old. You know what I mean? There's still fighters out there winning world titles. And these guys are keen, they want to fight, and I think they'll be the best performance out of both guys.
And both have been elite fighters, of course, over the years, fighting everybody. Dominic Ingle, you've been around Kell for seemingly ever. I remember when Kell was, what, 10 or 11, and we first saw him in the Winkerbank gym, and your dad sort of brought him through. I mean, over the years, has it been the same for you, that Amir's been a name that's just been there, young England and into the professional ranks, that somebody you wanted to get your hands on?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back way back to the amateurs. I can remember Kell coming off a training camp and saying, "Oh, I've been training with me, Carl." And I said, "What's it like?" He said, "Yes, he's good, fast." He says, "But yeah, nothing sparkling about him." So it's been going on since that time. Even when they were both with Frank Warren, they were talking about making a fight. You know, in their early 20s, it never materialised. They both went different ways. So you know, finally we're here. Some people think it's way past its sell-by date, but you know, whichever way they think about it, it's going to be car crash TV. It's going to be a cracking fight. It's not going to go the distance. I mean, I think the deciding factors are going to be Khan's inactivity. Kell's still got the punch, but Khan still hasn't got the resilience anymore. You know, he's suffered some very, very heavy knockdowns in his career, and it affects.
He got knocked out by a jab.
Yeah,
It was a jab, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
What I will say about Kell against Crawford, he made the wrong decision. I think he didn't have a perfect training camp. He relied on himself for that one, and he misjudged it badly. He should have done a lot better. He should have done a lot better with Crawford, and he didn't. So you know, that's a lesson learned. That's where we are. Maybe that's why he's got the fight. But what I will say is Kell still got his punch. Khan still hasn't got the resilience. He never has had much of a chin. But he can box, he's got reflexes fast. As long as he can keep out of the way, he's going to be alright. But it's only going to be a matter of time when Kell connects. Because Kell's still got the punch, he's still got the reflex, he's still got the speed, and he's still got the fitness. He's been training since the summer. He's not just starting camp now, he's been in it thinking this fight was going to happen before December. So I know how long he's been in the gym and I know how he's looking. And you're just starting your camp, you might have done a bit, fair enough. But I think over time, I think Kell's in a lot better shape. I think you're just worse for wear. But it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. Do you think actually the styles gelling now will make it more electric, that it can't go the distance that somebody's going to go?
Yeah, it's not going to go the distance because I don't think Amir's got it in him to do with the distance anymore. I think his hardest fight was Crawford. He put a great display till he got hit. He did more rounds than Kell, but when he made his comeback fight, you know, whichever way it was, he got Billy Day, but whoever he had before that, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't be a hard fight. So he's been out of the mix for a long time. He's been, you know, living the celebrity lifestyle. Fantastic. He's got a great lifestyle. He's great, you know, for the people in Britain. He's a role model for a lot of people, and that's good. And you know, Kell Brook, he's been boiling for a long, long time. And like I say, it's all over the forums. It's all over social media. People are anticipating this fight. It is going to be a good fight. It's going to sell out Manchester Arena, and it's going to be a great fight. And you know, hopefully, you know, Khan's going to turn up. He's not going to be on a dinner date on the 14th with his missus. And not making the weight. He's going to turn up on the 19th, and it's going to be a good fight.
Just before I go to Amir, it will be a sellout, and to access pre-sale tickets, be the first in line, please sign up at boxer.com. Just an important announcement there, because it will be banged out in the AO Arena in Manchester on February the 19th. Amir, how do you respond to Dominic's words?
I don't know what to say. I mean, look, he's a trainer. I know he's saying that Kell's in such good shape. Looks like a blob to me. I mean, still not in the best shape. And don't know what type of training he's doing, but I mean, all the very best to him in training camp. We know we're going to be ready. I've been smashing the gym at myself, and you know, yeah. I mean, look, come Feb 19th, it's going to be there's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a massive event. And it's just going to feel so good to shut him up, you know, once and for all. Because this fight's been talked about for such a long time. At least I can then give him a good beating and then move on to other things. Because every time, you know, Kell Brook gets it a lot as well. When you're fighting Khan, people asking me when you're fighting Brook. I think it's going to be nice to put a stop to it all, you know, after Feb 19th. We all know then who the man is, and obviously it'd be nice to then move on to other things.
You want to move on to other things? You're just focused on Feb 19th, aren't you? Dominic says you're in training, that you're ready. Do you feel good? Do you feel right again?
I feel right, yeah. I've been training for a while. We're obviously going to step it up now, bring the diet into place and be ready. You know, I think actions speak louder than words, and I'll be ready for February 19th. It's going to be carnage.
What wins you the fight, Kell?
Accuracy, you know, power, you know, relentless, just coming forward to take his chin clean off your head. Basically, I'm coming. Forget boxing, forget what I've learned. I'm coming for a pub fight. I'm coming for a car park scrap.
And what brings you victory, Amir, on February the 19th, once and for all against Kell?
not a car park scrap. I mean, I think it is a little bit more than that, trust me. I mean, who says that? Who says a car park scrap?
May I say it?
Come on. I mean, you're a professional fighter.
We're
You're
gonna
probably
stand
a
in
car
our
park
box
scrap.
over there. We're gonna
Oh my
have
God. Cal, you're just... Anyway, he just does not know how to promote a fight, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look, it's gonna... I think we both need more than just a car park scrap. We're gonna have to have a good game plan, go in there, look good, feel good. And like Dominic just mentioned earlier, you know, we saw Crawford at the same age as us, he was 35, went and beat Porter, looked great. So you know when people say the age, because me and Kell are similar age, I'm 35 next week and Kell's 35, I think a lot of people say, oh, these guys are old, but no, I think we're at the peak of our career where we feel at the strongest, the fastest, the quickest, and you know, I think if training camp goes well for both of us, I think they will have this will be a cracking fight. You know, we're both strong, we've been in with the best, we've got the experience behind us as well. So here's a fight that's you know, a lot of people think it's a 50-50 fight. I mean, but it's going to be an exciting one.
But finally, Kell, look down at Amir, just look down at the table and just tell him what happens February 19th.
I guess not spark out.
You ain't gonna do shit.
You're gonna get knocked spark out. Like you always do.
No, that talking you get
Amir, what happens? Look at Kell, what happens?
He's gonna get banged out. Honestly, I'm gonna school him like I used to do when I used to be inspiring. I mean, that's you take punch right through his face, man. I'm gonna sort him out.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ben, final word, Ben, on the promotion and how excited you are about the next few weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait for this promotion to get started. Obviously, we have, to be honest, two icons of the British sport that we should be very proud of. I think both of them have conquered the world, both of them have won world titles, both of them now come into this fight with all the learnings from the big fights, from all the mistakes that they made, but they come in exactly the same position, and that's what makes this so compelling. Both have still a lot in the tank, both don't want to take fights domestically that are any lower than this, and I think finally we will find out whether it's Brook or Khan, and to be honest, I think they both got to be careful, because this is what, in 10-15 years, when people talk about Amir Khan or Kell Brook, this is what is going to be mentioned. This will be what lasts in the memory, and so there's more than world titles on the line on this one. This is about legacy, and it runs deep in both families.
Congratulations to Team Khan and Team Brook and the Boxer team for making this fight happen. Sky Sports box office, February the 19th. It is on, the green light. We're going to pose the two for one final head-to-head at the front, and then they will be available for one-on-one interviews. We wish them